Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here with our guest today for Change Our Community. And her name is Lydie Léveillé. Ou connaît Lydie, je dis ensemble avec nous, c'est une top consultant dans our company. Et je dis, elle vient visiter nous. Je dis, elle va réveiller le peuple là, parce que le peuple là veut se réveiller en pile. Parce que le peuple là a un pile problème. Je dis à nous, ensemble avec Lydie, qui a dit quelque chose avec communauté haïtienne, avec l'église haïtienne qui a un pile problème, côté du cabaret au conseil. Je dis, elle me dit, bonsoir Lydie, comment
bonsoir et ça me fait un pile plaisir. I'm very, very, very happy. Je suis très contente. So, you see, I give you in 3 languages. So, you know, I'm happy.
I got you. You know, I don't speak French. Je ne parle pas français, je parle créole et anglais. Je dis alors, ça va avec Lydie, qui a dit nous, en tant que conseiller, Lydie, je connais l'église, je pile problème. Qui conseille au capoter par l'église, parce que nous avons 2025 là venir. What do you think about it?
I think that on peut parler en anglais.
On peut parler en anglais, en créole, en français, parce que petit haïtien, nous y est.
Ben oui, OK.
Parler de langage qui vous fait plaisir.
Moi-même pense, c'est vraiment question ça. Parce que question ça, li capable maintenant en réflexion.
Okay.
And I think that it's important to think about what we did in 2024. When we know what we did in 2024, we can assess, and now we can say, now, what do we want for 2025?
I agree with you.
Do we want to do the same thing? So that means, do we like what we did? Or do we see room for improvement and we want to do more? Or maybe we want to change. And I think that it's crucial to be honest and humble. When something is not working, we can say, you know what, in 2024, I had that vision. I tried to implement it. But you know what? I don't like the result.
But the church, aujourd'hui, il y a un problème l'église gagne, parce que l'église pas aimé changer rapide, parce que là où est communauté, où est technologie va avancer, et tout va avancer, l'église toujours derrière. Qui conseille au cabaret? Parce que j'en dis, évaluation is very important. Parce que si vous évaluez en 2024, ou bah pas marcher bien, on t'a supposé faire un changement. Comment vous avez fait? Comment vous avez fait changement ça? Parce que l'église pas connaît. Qui conseille au capoter pour vous?
OK. Non, conteste ça, c'est important pour nous capable qu'on a raison que nous gagnons réticence pour faire l'autre bagaille. Est-ce que c'est parce que nous paie? Est-ce que nous paie de nouveautés ou est-ce que nous confortables avec bagaille que nous avons fait? Et parce que nous confortables, même s'il n'est pas marché, nous c'est bon moi-même confortable j'étais là. Matin, this morning I was praying about that. And I was praying about it because I feel that God called me to do something, but to do that I need to be out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
Now, because I need to go out of my comfort zone, I'm like, no, God, cannot be. It cannot be. Because if I'm out of my comfort zone, I don't know how to do it because it's something that I don't know. And because this is something that I don't know, I might be more reluctant to change. I might be more reluctant to see that out of my comfort zone can be as good or can be even greater than in my comfort zone. So that's why it's important for the people to understand about technology. What is the things that you don't like? Is it because you're not comfortable with it? Or is it because going there, you will be out of your comfort zone? But now, when you are out of your comfort zone, you might find someone in your church that technology is their comfort zone. So now you can team up with them and try to do something.
Nous avons une crise dans l'église haïtienne, parce que nous avons parlé de fear. And right now we have a lot of young people leaving church. Quand on est dans l'église haïtienne, où est-ce que les gens qui ont 50 ans and up, parce que plus fort jeunesse là quitter l'église, qui sont qu'à dire avec ça?
You know, par rapport à ça, là, mon dit plus fort non jeune, I don't necessarily think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, and I don't like that.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I don't like that.
Okay.
Because you have also a lot of youth in the church.
Okay.
We're always looking for things that we don't have.
Okay.
But we're not paying attention for the things that we have. And you know what happens when you don't pay attention to the thing that you have? You lose it. And I think that this is what happened. It's because we focus on the thing that we don't have, that the little, but me, I'm not going to say the little, because because Jesus said one soul that is baptized, the heaven is rejoicing. Angels are rejoicing for one soul.
Wow.
So even though there is one youth at the in the church, it's a lot, because sometimes we want to minimize one soul. And I don't want from now on to minimize that one soul. Now we need to say that, okay, we have that one soul. How are we going to keep that one soul? Because sometimes, most of the time, we're worrying about those who are outside, but we're worrying about those who are inside, or already there, or wants to do the things to stay in church. And then when we focus about what we don't have, we are losing the one that we have.
Lydie, on m'a parlé de jeunesse qui était dans l'église là, ils ont quitté l'église là, parce que la Bible a un exemple, t'es yon 100 brebis, qu'on y a yon allé ouais Jésus-Christ même al derrière l'autre là. Nous avons peu jeunes qui étaient dans l'église aujourd'hui qu'on y a quitté l'église, ça te passé, qui ça nous supposé faire? Je comprends ce que dit parce que regardez, I grew up a lot of young people in my church. Most of them they're not there. And my colleagues are not there. What can we do for those young people to come back?
I think that should not be the question.
Okay.
You see?
What's the question?
I think the question is, Eve, what made you stay?
I like that.
What made you stay? And now you have to say, maybe what made you stay, they didn't have it. And because they didn't have it, they are looking somewhere else to have it. But at the end of the day, we know that it's only at church, it's only with God that they will have what they're looking for.
But can we go after them because since they left?
I think that it's not necessarily going after them, but it's more about how they can see that the church is the answer of what they're looking for.
Let me give you an example. I know you're a mother, you're married,
yes,
and you have kids.
Yes.
Let's, for example, you have your children right now.
Yes.
They decided to say, Mom, I don't want to stay in the house anymore. I'm leaving right now. Would you not go after
Impossible.
your kids? Impossible.
Impossible.
Would you not go after your kids? Would you not go after that?
No, but my kid will not say that to me, because even for my own parents, I never said that to them.
Okay.
What? Leaving my mom's house? I was so good. What? Never. If it was not for my husband.
You were not leaving.
No.
You would stay in.
Of course.
Why would you stay in?
Because I was good. It was the environment was good. My mom never talked, in my head. They're Haitian, they talk, but not that much.
Okay.
So I will leave. She was talking, give me advices, or give me her perspective, about the world, about what I should do, and things like that. I was able to listen to her, but we were able also to have conversation. When we have conversation, and I say, okay, mommy m'tendait qu'on y a a décision, But she never said that, because you don't want to do whatever I said, you're out of my house. She was like, okay, we're going to pray about that. I never went crazy because my mom gave me value. You see, my mom gave me a good education. So I will never go, like astray. I will never go. I never went, like out of the world, or I never did that.
You're a good children. You're a good child.
It's not about. No, I don't think that it's about being a good child. It's about setting an environment that the child don't see the necessity to live.
Ok, je me pose une question, Lydie. Quand vous parents qui dit que ça, tu fais tel bail ma méthode, est-ce qu'on compte parents ça? Est-ce qu'on compte yo?
Parents ça, c'est mon problème.
Qui conseille pour tes parents ça?
I think that it's more about how you trust your child to make the right decision. Maybe sometimes, and as also for my own, how can I say that? For my own education, with my children, I needed also to learn about it. It's important that when you give something to your child, an education to your child, you need to give the best. You need to do it in the way that your child can carry it, can work with it. So now, when you know that you did your best, even though your child make a decision, you also going to teach your child to accept the responsibilities that goes with that decision, to carry the consequences that go with that decision. Your child will never go. For example, you never say, "Oh, what happened if your child will how do you say like in English? Bon, m'a dit en français, braquer une banque."
Okay.
You know?
On dit ça en créole.
Creole.
Ou pas en créole?
Yeah, how you say? You know when you go and steal money from the bank,
Okay.
you know how you call it?
M'pa konnen,
In like
madame.
a haze or something like
Okay.
that. You see? So you know that your child will never do that.
Okay.
You know, I cannot tell you, oh, imagine that your child will do something like that. You will tell me, impossible. Because I already gave, values. I give structure to my child, and I know that my child will not do that.
M'a pose une question. Parce que nous sommes parlé des affaires de jeunesse là qui quittent l'église.
Oui.
Who can we blame right now? The young people left the church.
But I think that that's why I am against saying that this is not the right question. We're not supposed to ask that question. I don't think that we should say that they leave church, because if we believe that the church is the environment or the place that everybody should go, I think that the question is, what made them not stay? Or what made them look for something else? So now when you think like that, you try to find another solution than just bring them. But now, because if I say like, oh, what made you stay, Eve? Now I can say, okay, you had that in your life. So now I can help those people to see what you had in your life. So they can see that it's still possible to have that as well. They can have that as well in the church.
Are you asking that question why I stay?
Yes.
The reason why I stay is because relationship with God. I'll give
Okay.
you one example. I remember when I was in high school and I was doing Bible study to all my friends in the class. One of the reasons why I have relationship with God, and I said, God, I would like you to do something for me.
Beautiful.
And I'm advocate for you as a child of God to do Bible study for the young people. I see everybody was passing the exam, HSCT, and I need to pass the exam. I said, God, if you do this, and this is what I will do for you. And the relationship I have with God, and it make it happen. And then I said, God, I'm going to go to Haiti and preach the gospel. And so many things happen in my life. And I have a relationship with God, and I always go back and say, God, this is what I want, and God will give it to me. And I have a mother also. She's a prayer. She always praying. I remember one time I couldn't pass my test, and I went to my mom. This is what the professor said.
Yes.
And my mom said, "Et pas professeur te ben aux États-Unis. Non,
Et
c'est
ça.
bon Dieu men aux États-Unis.
Et
Ou après retourner à l'école, ça professeur a dit pas arriver. Ça devait passer pas faire vieux job dans les États-Unis, même pas quitter faire vieux job. Parce qu'il faut aller à l'école pour graduer pour qu'on baille de MCDV. Ça veut dire, all those relationships I have the grown in the church, and plus, l'église côté me démarché, te gen kou la Bible. Te gen toujours te gen kou la Bible, et me toujours gen moun qui aide et fait Bible study. Et puis, me dans position dans l'église. Quand on dans laïque, me toujours dans laïque à prêcher l'évangile. Ça veut dire, my entourage tout entourage, c'est un système qui t'aide à aller de l'avant.
Exactement.
C'est ça fait, ça veut dire pas give up. Non, parfois ça quand dans tête une situation arrivée et ou voulez give up, mais pour changer côté bon Dieu pour vous. When you figure out where God take you, it's amazing.
Yes.
Parce que moi-même qui dit, I'm not perfect than any other young people qui pas là. Moi-même qui dit, bon Dieu, bon grâce. On monde t'a prié pour moi. Et puis, son monde qui dit, bon Dieu, if you will, show me your mercy. And God always show me the mercy. That's what I'm here, to impact the society, because if I'm living, I'm not living for myself, I'm living for God.
You know that is the reason why do the youth leave the church? Is because they don't have enough faith. They didn't see other people with enough faith to stay in the church. So now when you see that it's not about them, it's about what they see. Because what you just shared, I experiment the same thing. My mom, the same thing. You see? That's why we stay. Because we were able to see other people demonstrating their faith in God no matter what. Same thing as you. I was at school. I was even younger because in France, Ça y fait, c'est que Kounia, de temps en temps, gagne l'école le samedi. Et puis, les gagne l'école le samedi, ou pas ça pas vini. Les ou pas vini comme ça, y fait, c'est absentéisme. Et puis, seule raison pour absentéisme, c'est ou malade. Seule raison, c'est parce que ou malade. Malade docteur. Ouais. Donc, Kounia, on pas aller un premier samedi, deuxième samedi, troisième samedi. Kounia nous joignent papier l'école, voyez la caille nous, disant que absentéisme, c'est un crime. Si me pas aller à l'école là, yo pas le voyer maman et papa non prison. Parce que c'est un crime. Oui, vraiment.
En France, qui va ça?
Oui,
Oh,
c'est un
wow.
crime. C'est un crime. Yo pas jouer avec absentéisme. Et puis, là, nous joignent ça, moi-même, t'es peur. Et puis, me dit, maman, Malé, oui, nous pas fait. Maman, say what? Never. When she saw that I was worrying, about her, because she could go to jail, because I didn't go to church, I didn't go to school. She bring me to prayer meeting. This is when I started prayer meeting.
Wow.
We went together to prayer meeting, and we prayed together. And then she was always praying and say, Lydie, don't worry, because God decide everything. Don't worry. And even I'm sure for her, she was worrying because she didn't grow up in France. She's from Haiti. So you receive letters, like official letters, that say that what she's doing, it's a crime. So now when I was able to see her faith, because she said, you're not going. And I'm like, I'm not going? She said, no, you're not going. And I said, okay. So now I was able to see her faith. And by seeing her faith, I built my faith. And then when I was like in college, I had that again to get my bachelor. Because in France, also time to time, you can have class on Sabbath. And when you don't come, they can fail you. You see? So now when I was older, I had to stand. I had to say, what do I do? Do I leave the church or do I stay? And I think that's why they leave the church. Is because, and we were able to have that conversation to get the answer. It's because they never see or they didn't have a person in their life with enough faith for them to understand that God is a big God. That God can answer any of their difficulties.
Ça veut dire, ou voulez dire comme ça, et l'église commence la caille.
Exactement.
Ça veut dire, si la caille strong, l'église est strong.
Yes.
Si la caille crasée, l'église est crasée.
Yes.
Ça veut dire, nous voulons encourager maman, papa, petite, et pour une relation entre eux-mêmes.
Exactement.
Prier, parce que puisqu'on est là, maman toujours prier avec nous. Ou nous là, et des bons de ballon côté là. Oh, t'es moi des bons Dieu quand on va aller. Ça veut dire, it's the comfort zone. It's a support system.
Correct.
Ça veut dire, nous t'avons aimé, jeune n'a un support système. Et c'est support système ça qui a aidé.
Exactement.
Quand il y a ça, on a prêté dans l'église.
Mais c'est deux systèmes.
Okay.
Ouais. Parce que moi, je t'ai dit que maman, t'es maintenant l'église. So that means that you need a system at church. You need to have also good, because you did that. You did like a Bible study.
Yes.
You see, me, I had prayer meeting.
Wow.
You see, so we had something. So we had something at home, but we had something also at church.
Yes.
Now, if you have a church and there is nothing, how can you expect that the youth will stay?
Nothing plus nothing equal nothing.
Exactly.
Simple mathematics.
Exactly.
Parce que si jeune n'a pas gagné pour l'église, pas gagné pour jeune, parce que pas arrêter. Oui.
Exactly. So that's why now you don't say that why they're not in the church. Now it's more about, does your church put things in place to show the youth that it's worthwhile having faith in God, that we have a God that is so powerful that no matter your difficulties, no matter the situation, he has you. And the child, that youth need to see it at home and at church.
I'll give you an example. I remember when I went to college, I didn't know English.
Okay.
And I was fighting. My mom told me, you just can't stay in college. And I said, Mamba, you're difficile.
Yes.
Et doit graduer moi-même.
Amen.
Imagine, transition dans high school, il y a un problème. Arriver dans collège, il y a un problème. Once I dit, I find out God is real through my relationship, what I go through. even in my life, the people I met in my life, because being a lender, one of the testimony I give it, quand on chita avec CEO bank, côté nèg a parlé billion de dollars, go bank on $100 billion, $50 billion pour même ces haïtiens yo pour avoir côté moun sa yo. It's a blessing. And côté malé tout, bon Dieu béni m'en pile. Because the thing you were talking about, fear, pas fear. God is for me. Who would I be fear? I have to believe the multi-God. And God is the one who created heaven and the earth. We need to have that faith. And this is what I learned from my mom. This is what I learned from my environment, the system, like you said.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for God, where I would be.
Correct.
Because situation toujours vini, but prayer can overcome everything.
Exactly. And for me, to answer, the first question, I would say that it will be good for 2025 for all churches to demonstrate more faith. It is important to demonstrate more faith so the youth can testify. They can see with their own eyes how God was able to help the church as a community, but also each individual, each member of the church personally. So what I will encourage for 2025, for everybody to have time of testimonies. So we can hear, just the fact that what you share, like it was hard for you to learn English. And I'm sure that you have thousands of youth being in that same situation.
That's true.
And now hearing that, you can say that, you know what? If he did that for Eve, he can do the same for me. And I know he did that in the Bible.
Yes.
You know?
I
So
agree.
now you can see that God is consistent. And when you see that God is consistent, you can stay assured that he will do something for you. And then the next thing that I will say, testimony and prayer. They go together, prayer at home, but also prayer at church. And I didn't say conversation, réunion. Because in Haitian church, you ramen parler. Réunion. But we don't want that. We don't want meeting. We want time where there is more prayer, and it's not necessarily praying just for 20 minutes nonstop. It's really prayer where people come and they pour out their heart.
There's something you say that's very, very important. Fair problem, fair kula, be Bible study for the young people. And I said, God, give me a topic. And the topic that I find out is called faith, 3F. Faith, family, and finance.
Beautiful.
I say, if you don't have faith,
Yeah.
you cannot have a family, you cannot have money.
Yeah.
You get me? Because all of them go together. Because anything you do, you have to have faith.
Correct.
And anything you have to do, you have to get it from your family.
Yes.
And this is where finance come.
Yes.
A lot of people want to be a billionaire, millionaire. I agree the vision you have. But if you don't have a faith,
Correct.
all the successful people I met in my life, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, it's all about faith.
Of course. Oh, they're big. They're big in that.
It's all about faith.
Yeah.
And they say, God is real. That's why they're making it.
Yes.
And I agree. And the show I'm going to have every Saturday, 3 to 4, is called The Youth is in Control. If you don't control yourself as a youth, someone will control you.
Exactly.
And the good thing about it, we'll teach the young people about faith.
That's good.
We'll teach them about family.
Yes.
We'll teach them about finance. Because if we can be here because we have a system from our family
It feed each other. Yes.
that it feed each other, you cannot separate that.
And I love that because many of them are leaving the church because they think that to make money, you cannot be an active member. Because when you see people at church, they look like poor or broke, and you say, I don't want that. So you think that you need to go somewhere else.
That's true.
But no, you can be billionaire
yes.
and actively working for God.
I agree with you. When I see being joined the banking association, all those banks,
Oh,
all the
yes.
CEO of those banks, they're conservative. Before even having a meeting, when we do something, they pray.
Oh yes.
I was shocked.
Oh,
There's-
yes.
The upper level we're talking about, the people that are millionaire, they believe God is existing.
Oh,
And
yes.
because I want people to understand that by having that experience in my life, right now, I learned who God is. It doesn't matter. money, I tell people finance, but you got to go with faith.
Correct.
You got to talk about finance. You got to go with family.
Yes.
When I start my business, you know who support me? My first person who supported me was my mom. She referred me client. And I tell people, my gosh, if you don't have your family by your side, anything you're doing,
Correct.
you're losing it.
Correct.
And number one, you have to have God.
Correct.
Without God, where we will be?
Correct.
Et qui conseille ou capoter par peuple à connaître là? Nous parlons en pile,
No, parler en pile. Yeah. The final words, it's that's why I love those type of conversation, because you don't necessarily have a written answer, but it's because we are working together, intellectually working together, and we try to find an answer. So now, when you say like, why the youth are leaving church, it's because they don't have enough conversation, or I would say enough wisdom. They didn't receive enough wisdom in that faith, family, finance. As we said, you need two systems. You need home and you need the church.
Yes.
When you have those two, there is no reason to leave. And that's why I say you need to look to the people who are in the church. When you look at them and you ask them, where did you stay? Now you can say, we need to see those who left, that all the answers of their question, of the difficulties, they can find it in the church. But most of the time, they don't see it.
Oh, yeah,
But we
right.
had our mom full of faith that were able to show us. So now, as family and church, we're going to do that. We're going to say we're going to put our youth in an environment where they can learn about faith, family, and finance.
I agree with you. But I remember when I was in high school, even I was in college, we had a lot of fun.
Oh, yes.
Et grand moun avait jeune
Yeah.
ensemble, n'a chanté,
Yeah.
nous allons faire visite missionnaire. Il dit, bah, ça encore, non?
That's why they're leaving. That's why they're leaving.
Bah, ça encore, non?
No.
Pas de dévotion, t'es qu'on dit dévotion.
That's true.
Yeah, pas de ça encore, non, Lydie.
That's true. And this is what you need. You need the older folks to show their love and faith in God. So the youth can see that and can be inspired and say, wow.
Changer laïque. Laïque, t'es qu'on a fait visite missionnaire. What you said, it make a lot of sense. That come to my mind. Kakou Ancien Testament, Nouveau Testament. Si pas gen ancien, pas ka gen nouveau.
C'est ça.
Si grand moun yo pas quitter on marche à suivre pour nous, comment nous pour aller?
You see? And in my answer, I didn't talk about music. I didn't talk about jewelry. I didn't talk about clothing,
Yeah.
And that's why, because that, it's accessory.
Yes.
This is not those reasons that they're leaving the church. They say, because m'pas sa mette faux cheveux, et parce que m'mette on el polish puis kouni ya yo. No, it has nothing to do with that.
It's about personal. Salvation is personal.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. People are leaving the church, or people are not staying. I will rather say that why they don't stay. They are because I don't like when people assume that you can leave God. You can find something better.
I like
Because
that.
there is nowhere else.
Life you
Because
can
at
learn.
the end, even though they're old, they will come back.
Okay.
So that means that they didn't stay, but they will realize that they need to stay.
Do we call
here.
them they're taking a break, or do we want to call them they take a break?
It's not taking a break. It's because they are looking somewhere else for their answers.
Okay.
And the answer that they are looking is at the church. And that's why at the end, they will come back. Many people say that. I was at church, I left, and I came back. And at the end, this is what happened.
Lydie, mwen babalan ken kote. Parce que bon Dieu, bon mwen, bon Dieu fait pile miracle pour moi. Parce que soit ma vie là, ou que Paul dit, soit ma vie, c'est pour Dieu ta vie dans moi-même. Parce que quand tu prends, pas gagner Dieu.
That's it. Like Peter said, à qui irions-nous? À qui irions-nous? Nobody.
Babalan ken kote Lydie là pour aller. Mes amis, nous même t'as de Lydie là. Lydie lui-même, ça vient faire là, et réveiller tout le monde. Lydie réveiller, ça veut dire, ou même qui t'a dormi, pas dormi encore.
Yes.
Where jeune fille ça, she knows a lot. She has a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of patience. She's there to help. Hey, Lydie, it was a pleasure to meet you. I'm so happy.
It was a pleasure.
We want you to come back.
I will, and I am excited for the conversation that
Okay.
you're going to have with the youth, with that faith, finance, and family, because this is something that we all need to know, no matter the age. No
Yes,
matter the
it is
age.
true. It is true. You know, thank you so much. God bless everybody.
Thank you.
All right.